Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. A hot and humid week is ahead. We've even got a couple days of severe storm chances. Some chance tomorrow, a slight tiny chance for Tuesday on July 4th. But overall, I think we will calm the storm chances down just enough to enjoy our July 4th. Wednesday looks calmer, and then storm chances ramp back up on Thursday into Friday as well. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker. My latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. A severe thunderstorm watch is likely to expire before 11 p.m. Activity has been limited now that the sun has set, and we could see the same again tomorrow and Tuesday as well. So again, limited severe storm chances over the next couple days. Hello, Peter. Hello, David. But it's worth covering, so let me go into that for you. First, the heat tomorrow. Dew points remain very high, which we'll detail for you in just a second, but heat index values perhaps in the upper 90s to low 100s. Good evening, Ruth, Elisa, and David. Love seeing the rain chances. Yes, indeed, but do hydrate mindfully tomorrow. It is going to be very warm, very humid, so please keep that in mind when you are out and about. Maybe avoid strenuous activity if you can during the peak heating of the day, like afternoon, mid to late afternoon hours. Not a great time to be doing kind of those more strenuous activities. The dew point scale is going to stay in the sticky to muggy, borderline sultry and oppressive mugginess this week, but this means for us those heat index values, again, near or above 100 degrees tomorrow. One more day like that tomorrow. Behind our cold front, tomorrow we should cool down a little bit, just a hair, for the 4th as well. So that's some good news in conjunction with our holiday plans. But here it is, the Monday front that loves to be sized in the wrong manner. So let me fix that for us, even though it was fine just a second ago. I want to reiterate, this is why we do have severe storm chances for tomorrow. We've got a cold front that is heading toward our region. This is going to provide an extra amount of oomph, of lift in the atmosphere, which we have not had recently. A lot of these storms have started over the Appalachians and the Blue Ridge Mountains, but we're going to have this extra ingredient tomorrow, so please keep that in mind for the reason behind flagging the severe storm chances for tomorrow. This does bring our heat index values and rain chances down a little bit into the middle part of the week, but as for tomorrow, we've got these severe storm chances to kind of make sure you're weather aware. One more day tomorrow. I don't want you completely fatigued and worn out by all of this kind of strong, severe air mass that is conducive to strong, severe storms this time of year. But here it is in yellow, a 2 to 5 chance, a 40% chance roughly of seeing 1 or 2 severe storms tomorrow. Hail and of diameter over an inch and wind gusts above 57 miles per hour are all possible tomorrow. In addition, we could see a couple flooding downpours. Remember, if you encounter a flooded cover, path forward, turn around, don't drown. Thank you, please. All right, daylight is still pretty darn long this time of year. We've come up a couple minutes later in our sunrise, but still talking to you now for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chats at 8:37 p.m. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube right there. Pollen and spores are behaving themselves. I haven't seen, with all the rain, we don't really have much accuracy, but I think the atmosphere has been rinsed out enough. I can verify I feel a little bit better with these current statistics. I hope you do, fellow allergy sufferers, as well. Yes, indeed, feeling like July. David, Ruth, Lisa, the wildfire smoke is vastly reduced. I wouldn't say it's completely gone for good. We do maybe have some moderate code yellows this week. So far, it doesn't look like any widespread code orange or other concerning worse air quality issues this week. Oh, Paul, good. You got a 1/10 of an inch of rain. Charlene is melting from the heat and humidity. Good to see you, Ruth, Lisa, and Paul, and Lori. Bathroom mirrors are fogging up from the humidity. Yes, indeed. It's going to stay high this week. Let's go back briefly to our dew point scale just so you can see. We're going to stay maybe borderline sultry, oppressive this week, but I think we'll manage okay. Maybe sticky, unpleasant behind our cold front Tuesday into Wednesday. But overall, I still see some low 70s, maybe even some mid-70s popping into our dew point scale this week for the forecast ahead. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. I'm Camden Walker. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Wow, 6 inches of rain in what time period, Dwayne, in King George? Was that just from these storms recently in the last few days? Hey, Gary, thanks. Good to see you. Very humid in Portland as well. You've got, indeed, feels like a July 4th and almost equal air temp, so you're at 100% relative humidity. Hey, Julia, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. Really need the rain. Plants need it. I'm sorry the dogs don't like thunder. That's kind of this time of year. Unfortunately, the main rain delivery system are these hit or miss thunderstorms. So unfortunately, we can't promise a good shield of rain like in a cold season storm, like a nor'easter moving up the coast when you have a nice steady shield of rain or snow. That's kind of not on the table much this time of year, unfortunately, Julia. Let's see. I don't think, David, we don't have a tornado risk any longer for tomorrow. That is the good news. We did briefly see a little evidence of that, but I think that has stayed into Pennsylvania today. And let's see, Rebecca, I hope I am making the bad news bearable. That's very kind of you. And we've got Ghosh, thanks for tuning in. Paul, I'll go over the drought in just a second. And Charlene, same there in Glenville, Pennsylvania. And let's see, yep, Lori, hit or miss storms can miss by just 1 or 2 miles. It's very frustrating at times. All right, let's look ahead a little bit more. Let me go into the next part of our forecast situation here. Again, there's the latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. We have, for July 4th, an ever so slight chance, a tiny chance of a strong severe storm or two, but luckily chances are lower by the time we get to our holiday on Tuesday. But I just want you to be in the back of your mind a little weather aware as we get toward fireworks time. But the good news, as fireworks start and the sun sets, the fuel for these pop-up shower storms, maybe 1 or 2 strong to severe on Tuesday, they lose the fuel as soon as the sun is setting. So they should die out pretty quickly on Tuesday evening. So that's good news there. But here's the reason. Our cold front tomorrow, on Tuesday evening, it kind of stalls south and east of town. We can't fully kick it out of the region, unfortunately. So that's why you see the green hatching there. That is indicating more showers and storms. Still possible for July 4th, but chances are coming down, including the chance for a strong to severe storm on Tuesday as well on our holiday. But here's the precipitation animation for this week, just to let you know, those of you who are frustrated by the hit or miss storms, it is still going to be that way. A lull probably on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. We can see lower rain chances. I don't want to completely rule them out even Wednesday or Thursday, but we'll get a little bit of a subsidence in the storm's middle part of this week, ramping back up again by Friday and maybe into this weekend as well. But as you can see, the nature, the texture to these is generally not too organized, generally hit or miss. A lot of them over the mountains where there's more lift naturally available from orographic, geographic location with air rising over the mountains. But rain totals from these hit or miss storms could still, fingers crossed, add up to an inch, maybe near 2 inches of rain by the time you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. I'm Camden Walker. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. On Twitter at Capital Weather is where you can also find our radar updates and where we are keeping you apprised of severe storm situations. All right, so Paul, I need to get to the rain deficit for you. We've got the last 2 weeks some pretty darn good news as a percentage in the last 2 weeks. Look at that. Purple's 200, 300, 400% of normal in the last 2 weeks. Granted, that's been a kind of turning point, a pattern change in the last couple of weeks, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. But longer term, and here's what you're going to want to see, Paul, and I think folks were asking about the drought, the longer term, 30, 60-plus days, and we still need some more rain in the central part of Maryland, especially southern Pennsylvania, and just northwest of town. Scott, tropics this coming week are quiet, expected over the next 7 days. And, yep, usually, David, is a very high humid and stormy time of year around July 4th. That is not unexpected. It's only 1 out of, 4 or 5 years I can think we're not battling a storm chance for the fireworks. It just comes with the air mass typical of this time of year. Gary, I'd like your dog with an umbrella. That's fantastic. All right, Charlene, I think you're up to date as well, and we've talked about the droughts, and I think that is what we have for looking ahead. So, again, forecast at a glance for this week, early week, strong to severe storm chances. Monday more so than Tuesday for our holiday, but I still want to go into the details in a second. There's still a tiny chance for a strong severe storm or two on Tuesday, but we're very optimistic that fireworks chances in the region are pretty good to go for Tuesday. So very hot and humid, that's another theme for the entire week, even behind our cold front tomorrow. It stalls out just southeast of town on Tuesday, which we just touched on. That's why storm chances are still a bit high, even into Tuesday. We can't quite clear that front out to sea, out into the Atlantic, but we do see a lull, a little bit of a storm lull on Wednesday, if not maybe Thursday, ramping up back into the rain chances again on Friday again, and maybe into the weekend. It's hot and humid, especially tomorrow. Ahead of our cold front, we're going to have a nice southwesterly flow off of the Gulf of Mexico. We'll get that heat humidity peaked again with heat index values. That's when you combine the air temperature with the humidity, and dew points indicative of that, around maybe the mid-70s at times tomorrow. That produces a temperature that your skin, where it can't evaporate the sweat very effectively, it's going to feel like to your skin upper 90s to low 100s tomorrow. So keep that in mind. We discussed that in our latest forecast here at CWG.news/latest, and anytime you need us, of course, at capitalweathergang.com. Here it is. I would say sticky and pleasant at best this week. Muggy, gross is on average what I want to say this week is going to feel like. A couple moments here or there could feel sultry or oppressive around or just above 75. I think that's going to be hard to get above 75 for a dew point scale this coming week. So that's good news. We've had worse in the past for July 4th, but it's definitely going to feel like middle of the summer, feel like July 4th weather. So here it is, the setup for tomorrow. So temperature and rain chances for the second week of July, Peter, we're looking at leaning above average for precipitation and a decent chance for below average temperatures. So that's a great question looking ahead. All right, so the Monday fronts are there for you to kind of show you the impetus, the triggering feature for another day of strong to severe storms perhaps tomorrow. We're not overly concerned. We're happy to report, in fact, the tornado risk for tomorrow, the threat of a tornado or two, weak, short-lived, is off the table for tomorrow. But still, in the upper left-hand corner here, that's the yellow shading indicating a 2 out of 5 chance for a severe storm potential tomorrow. So we're going to have to watch that. The two main threats also highlighted in yellow here on the bottom two panels, kind of a slight chance for large hail over 1 inch, and there is a slight chance for damaging wind gusts over 57 miles per hour. Can't rule out 1 or 2 flooding downpours, so just as a reminder for tomorrow, if you encounter a water-covered pathway forward, turn around, don't drown. Please keep that in mind. I never want to see any of you all wading through water in a vehicle, bike, on foot, none of that, please. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see. We've got daylight, which is still pretty darn long this time of year. We're still near our longest days of the year, only slowly eroding on our sunrise side. We're 2 minutes later than when you talk to me last week for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Dr. Reza, thanks for tuning in on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube Live right now. We're still at our latest times that we're talking together for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chats at 11:37 p.m. But we can start getting those earlier and earlier if you are a little bit of an earlier bed goer at this time of year. And pollen is behaving, so allergy sufferers, I hope you are feeling kind of acceptably good as I am recently. I'm on the air another 6 minutes or so. Let me know if you have any questions about the upcoming week. And here it is, our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And looking ahead to Tuesday on the holiday, only the ever so slightest chance of a strong or severe storm. But the good news is we are optimistic that most fireworks displays are going to go off without a hitch. So that's the good news. Just still stay weather aware, and we'll keep you posted on Twitter in case 1 or 2 strong storms do pop up in the region on Tuesday. But overall, it's getting the chances for storms overall and the chance for a strong to severe storm are decreasing as this front pushes south and east of us. We can't quite get it far enough away from us as it stalls out, so we can't push it offshore into the Atlantic. So this will create another bit of lift in our atmosphere just close enough to our region to maybe set off some storms, maybe 1 or 2 of which could be strong to severe on Tuesday as well. But overall precipitation this week, it's very hit or miss. And I know this is frustrating if you want the rain this time of year. We we just really have this in the warm part of the year. This is our main water source. It's not shields of rain that come from nor'easters, which are typical of the cold season. So the good news for outdoor plans, if you can stay a little bit nimble, there's a chance we can dodge some of these storms in many locations this week. But if you're looking for rain, it's going to be hit or miss. Your neighbor 2 miles away may have gotten a big deluge, a big downpour, and you are still struggling to water your plants. So that's how it is in the midsummer this time of year. And unfortunately, that's more of the same this upcoming week. But the rain totals, if you're lucky enough to get a downpour, you could see a quick inch of rain, maybe 2 inches of rain, maybe near 2 inches of rain by the time you talk to me next Sunday for a weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. This is the next 7 days prediction from the Weather Prediction Center for rain accumulations. All right. Paul, I'm not going to tell you how much daylight we're losing every week. And, Mike, we do have a Mastodon account. I don't know if it's very active, but I appreciate that feedback and comment. Looks like we do have some things coming in on Twitter. The severe thunderstorm watch was canceled locally. That's great news, and that's good. All right. So let's keep going here for another couple of minutes. We've got our rain deficit, which we have been filling in the last couple of weeks. We're in good shape in many parts of the region, but looking back beyond the 2-week mark, kind of 30, 60 days plus, our drought is still in the region needing to be filled in a little bit more. So we do still need more rain in central Maryland, southern Pennsylvania, and just kind of west-northwest of D.C. So we hope to continue to place some rain there, some thunderstorms, some non-severe thunderstorms this coming week if we can. That would be ideal if we were ordering that on a menu. Here it is, your forecast at a glance. Hot and humid for the week. Severe storm chances Monday, a little bit on Tuesday, but really the holiday should go off without a hitch in almost all locations. It's only a tiny chance of 1 or 2 strong storms on Tuesday. We're pretty darn optimistic that fireworks are going to go off without a hitch. A lull in the storm chances on Wednesday, maybe Thursday as well, but Friday, storm chances come back and may last into the weekend. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And we've got Charlene planting cucumbers, corn, and tomato. I'm glad they're thriving there in Pennsylvania with the rain-sun balance. And more smoke this week, Paul, is not on the horizon just yet. I think as we've communicated, despite the good news, air quality being kind of in the yellow zone, moderate this week, so far we don't see any major plume coming out of Canada from the wildfire smoke there. But as we've communicated on our write-ups, as we monitor smoke this coming week, and I don't know if it's gone for good, it's notoriously hard to predict beyond 48 hours how smoke is going to move in the hemisphere, so we'll keep an eye on it. But the good news is nothing is imminent. No smoke plume is imminent at this time. Heat and humidity, that is what is imminent, with heat index values near 100 degrees again tomorrow, if not over it in some locations. So please mindfully hydrate, keep those electrolytes in balance as well. Dew points are going to continue to be sticky, muggy, gross this week, but we should, behind our cold front tomorrow night, ease down and more toward the sticky side of things instead of fully gross and fully muggy like we are through tomorrow. But this cold front is what is triggering another round of potential strong severe storms tomorrow. We're not pulling the alarms right now. We're lucky to see that the tornado threat for tomorrow has gone away. We're really just looking at the slight potential, very slight potential for large hail, and another very slight potential for damaging wind gusts over 57 miles per hour. We'll, of course, keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com. And remember, turn around, don't drown, never wade through or drive through or walk through or bike through a flooded covered pathway forward. Turn around, don't drown. We could see a slight, ever so slight chance of a flooding downpour or two tomorrow as well. All right, let me close it out the next minute or so here. Daylight is still very healthy, almost 15 hours. Pollen is feeling good. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube right now live. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Anytime you need us, we're there on the blog. Latest forecast is at CWG.news/latest. July 4th, in pretty darn good shape. We're optimistic that even if we do see 1 or 2 severe storms, they die off very quickly near and after sunset. And then we just need to get this cold front kicked more out of here by the middle part of the week It stalls out after it moves through tomorrow, and that's why we still have a thunderstorm chance on Tuesday, one of two, which could be strong severe. But overall, it's a very hit or miss week of storms with a lull, kind of a reduction in activity, maybe a full break in activity from showers and storms on Wednesday if we're lucky. But I know many of us want the rain, so we're going to, not be bad, frown upon the increased rain chances coming back by Friday into the weekend. Rain totals, if we're lucky, could be an inch, maybe the luckiest spots near 2 inches of rain. Our rain deficit, much better shape the last couple weeks. Look at all these purples and blues, means triple almost of what we normally would see in the last 2 weeks. But the drought, it's longer term than just the rainfall deficit recently. 30, 60-plus days, we need still more rain, especially north of D.C. and into southern Pennsylvania, and we hope to get it. All right, so forecast at a glance, humid, hot this week, storm chances Monday, Tuesday. A couple of those could be strong severe, but overall the chances are looking good for lower chance of strong severe storms on Tuesday. So please enjoy this fireworks safely, mindfully hydrate with heat index values near 100 degrees tomorrow. All right, so I'm Ken Walker signing off. I'll see you next Sunday for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. You're most welcome, David. See you happy 4th. Gary, good night. Ruth Elisa, see you next week. Happy birthday, America, Gary. And thank you again, Rebecca. You're most welcome, and good luck in your garden this week. I know these hit or miss storms can be frustrating for gardeners and farmers alike.